And begin, my name is Zainab, Z-A-I-N-A-B, Chaudhry, C-H-A-U-D-R-Y. I'm the director for CAIR's office in Maryland. CAIR is a Council on American Islamic Relations. We are the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization. We called this news conference this morning to announce a lawsuit that CAIR has filed on behalf of 3 teachers in Montgomery County Public Schools who were suspended and investigated for simply supporting basic Palestinian human rights. The lawsuit challenges these measures against the teachers, Ms. Hajar Al-Hagan, Anike Robinson, and Angela Wolf, on First Amendment grounds. Between October 9th through December 2nd, CAIR's office here in Maryland has received 223 complaints and requests for assistance. Approximately 32% of these complaints and reports were reports of hate bias incidents and Islamophobia in schools and colleges and universities. 13% were workplace-related incidents and concerns, and 17% were reports of doxing or online threats. This is a staggering prevalence of hate bias incidents and requests for assistance that our office has not received before. Only yesterday, our office learned of yet another MCPS student who is being investigated for displaying a slogan that simply advocates for freedom for Palestine. This is unacceptable and egregious. Censorship and First Amendment free speech rights are a growing concern, especially among students and educators in schools and employees in the workplace. And that's partly why this lawsuit is critical and timely. We're going to begin with Rauda Fayaz, who is a attorney with CAIR National, and she will then introduce the other speakers.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Rauda Fawaz, R-A-W-D-A-F-A-W-A-Z, and I'm one of CAIR's Legal Defense Fund attorneys representing Ms. Hajar Al-Hagan, Ms. Anike Robinson, and Ms. Angela Wolf. Montgomery County employees have been using their authority as government officials to unlawfully punish teachers for their viewpoints. Those views are views regarding the ongoing slaughter in Gaza, and they've been doing so with unsettling speed. They've acted to suppress viewpoints critical of Israel and the daily massacres that we're all watching unfold in abject horror. This is a textbook violation of the First Amendment. This is why Hajar, Anike, and Angela have filed this lawsuit. We are truly shocked by the brazenness here. Halfway through the school year, the district officials ripped talented classroom teachers away from their students, all because they disagreed with the viewpoints that our clients expressed and wanted their viewpoints suppressed. Officials suspended our clients because they called for peace, justice, and dignity for the Palestinian people. They suspended Anike and Angela because of their private social media posts calling for a ceasefire. And meanwhile, Hajar's suspension is based on a staff-facing email signature and some watermelon pins. It is as petty as it sounds. Officials have cobbled together some factually accurate social media posts and a complaint about pins to deprive dozens of students of their teachers. They did so because Hajar, Anike, and Angela expressed a viewpoint that was critical of the Israeli military. Although our clients expressed themselves in the same ways that they and their colleagues have before about other social and political topics, officials still punish them because of their specific viewpoint. All of this has been a thinly veiled attempt by district officials to remove from the classroom any teacher who privately supports Palestine and criticizes the Israeli government. It is antithetical to the principles of free speech, diversity, and dialogue. It is inexplicable that stopping criticism of a foreign government seems more important than our fundamental rights as Americans. We urge district officials to think carefully about their constitutional obligations here and change course and meet them. My colleague Zaina Ghalawanji will now discuss some more of the details of our clients' constitutional claims.
Thank you all for being here. My name is Zaina Ghalawanji, spelled Z-A-N-A-H. Last name is G-H-A-L-A-W-A-N-J-I. And I am one of the CAIR Legal Defense Fund attorneys representing these teachers. The First Amendment safeguards individuals from governmental censorship, a protection that extends to public educational institutions. Public school teachers have the same First Amendment freedom to express their views, whether they are doing so about the police in Maryland or the Israeli military in Gaza. The First Amendment clearly forbids the viewpoint discrimination that caused these suspensions. To prohibit speech on this issue, but not others, is a clear violation of the First Amendment. This is why these teachers have filed this lawsuit. The board and MCPS officials have also tried to smear our clients' reputations by promulgating an unfounded narrative about our clients and their intentions. They found them guilty before the investigations even started. In fact, the situation became so drastic that Montgomery County Teachers Union published a letter condemning the fact that some of our clients were publicly condemned and were investigated, which has had detrimental impacts on their safety and emotional well-being. Our demands are simple. Our clients are asking that MCPS reinstate them to their original positions, issue public apologies, and allow them to continue advocating on behalf of the Palestinian people. Montgomery County officials don't need to wait for a federal court's order. Montgomery County officials can return Hajar, Anike, and Angela to their classrooms with their students right now. They can do that today and then turn their attention back to the many other problems confronting the district right now. Thank you. Next, we'll have
We'll have Ms. Angela
Ms.
Robinson.
Angela
start.
Robinson speak.
I think it's me. Oh, Anike. Sorry, go ahead. Apologies. We'll have the clients speak now. First will be Anike Robinson, and then they'll introduce themselves from there.
Good morning. I would like to thank CAIR for your support, your help, and your guidance. My name is Anike Robinson. First name Anike, last name Robinson, Robinson. I started my teaching career in 1995 as a humanities teacher who was and continues to be committed to human rights for everyone on earth. I've been a social justice advocate for decades and publicly worked shoulder to shoulder with people who fought against South Africa's apartheid, provided educational assistance after Katrina, and championed human rights for all since I attended MCPS high schools in the 1980s myself. Some of my former students are now in their 40s. Both my students, past and present, witnessed and joined my passion for learning. Year after year, my students and their families rightly ensured and entrusted me with the emotional and intellectual well-being of their children. I treasure human life. And I want my students to know, both past and present, that we are all agents of change in this moment. I'm an excellent teacher, and I know this because the families I've worked with for the last 30 years have told me so, in writing, in deed. I love what I do, but on December 6th, I was suspended and put under investigation for using my personal social media accounts to oppose apartheid, oppression, and occupation carried out by the Israeli government against the Palestinian people. That said, I'd like to take a moment to share a quick story that demonstrates my commitment to the core values of unity in the classroom and in Montgomery County and around the world. Recently, one student was overheard using a racial slur towards another in my middle school. One of these students was Jewish and the other Muslim. I spoke with them both privately, explaining that our immediate middle school community needed to find a way to work together so that we could talk about these hard issues and keep our unity as a local community and school intact. To demonstrate my personal commitment to open-mindedness, compassion, and being gentle with one another, I had each of these students help design a symbol. One student brought his Hamsa from Israel, and one student did an outer design of that Hamsa, which I tattooed on my arm as a symbol for my students and my school, Westland, that we were to be united in fighting for what is right and listening to one another to find better ways of solving problems. The important thing to remember today is that our educational systems thrive on critical thinking. And I have been creating safe environments for my students for decades, day after day. I miss my students very much, and I urge them to remember the lessons that we've learned together. Through this lawsuit, I am asking that Montgomery County Board of Education reinstate my position and our positions as educators and allow us to continue advocating on the behalf of all marginalized communities, including the Palestinians. Because no one is free until we all are free, and we all can be free. And I encourage us to shine and shine our light to make a difference and call for a ceasefire now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautifully said.
That's very nice. And again, thank you to CAIR, the same that my colleague Anike said. I think she's going to be a tough person to follow with my comments, but here goes. My name is Angela Wolf, and it's spelled ANGELAWOLF, and I'm a teacher at Tacoma Park Middle School in Montgomery County, Maryland. Last year, my 8th grade students and I read this historical novel. It's called Refugee, and it's by Alan Grants. Okay.
You're doing great.
This novel represents my 30 years of successful teaching with intelligence, introspection, and compassion. If you know me or have read this book, then you know we are not here today about my job performance as an educator. No. We are here because in my personal time, I communicated my belief that the indiscriminate killing of civilians is wrong. You see, as a teenager, I began organizing with others against injustice, and I used print media to communicate my ideas. In 2009, Facebook became the primary vehicle I used to engage with activists and deliberate with others about many subjects, from recipes to racism, without ever getting tagged or censored by any entity. For example, in 2017, I traveled to Charlottesville, Virginia, with a broad group of anti-racist activists, and I stood in solidarity against the white supremacists who were there at a Unite the Right rally. Social media, including my Facebook page, was widely used to spread awareness about the brutal racism of the alt-right and the white supremacy on display that day. Fast forward to last November. My principal called me on the evening of November 30th and told me there had been a concern with my Facebook posts and notified me that I was suspended. I received no additional information that day. I later learned that the school district sent out a letter condemning the views expressed on my personal Facebook account, and I've been on leave ever since. The anger, sadness, and frustration are unparalleled. Montgomery County Public Schools publicly maligned my character and took me away from a job and the people to whom I have dedicated my heart and mind because of one opinion. In fact, an opinion widely agreed on by the international community, that bombing hospitals and the indiscriminate killing of non-combatants is wrong. The characters in Refugee are separated by decades and continents, but in the end, their stories tie together. What we should understand is how intertwined all of our lives are, how shared our humanity really is. My past and present colleagues, students, and their families know that I consistently act with integrity and advocate for all in need. Any allegations against me are false. I deserve to have my name cleared and my position with MCPS reinstated. And then finally, social media is akin to an international public square where adults should be encouraged to engage in critical thinking and listening through public discourse. And I have always used social media in this manner, whether it's to speak on white supremacy or the government of Israel's human rights abuses against the people living in Palestine. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hajar El-Haggan, Hajurel-Haggan. On Monday, November 20th, 2023, I was silenced. Deemed guilty until proven innocent, judge and jury in one fell swoop, without a trial, without evidence, without even knowing who was my accuser or what was the wrong that I committed. I've been teaching in Montgomery County for a decade. On Monday, November 20th, 2023, after a grueling 12-hour workday of teaching and parent conferences, I was notified that I would be put on administrative leave effective ASAP. I had so many questions, but no answers for months. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free was on my internal staff-facing email signature line. My opinion is my wrong. It seemed that this was my wrong. From the age of 4, I've been an advocate for the freedom and peace of the Palestinian people. It is intrinsically tied to the core of my identity as a Muslim and an Arab from the region, as it is for many Muslims and Arabs. In Montgomery County, advocating for Palestinians is my wrong. I am Muslim. I wear hijab and cover my hair. I am a woman of color. I am an American of Sudanese and Egyptian national origin. I feel that if I looked different, dressed differently, had a different name, or was of a different background, this would not be happening to me. I would not be treated this way. Apparently, who I am entirely is my wrong. Silenced. Or so they tried.
Thank you to everyone. We will stick around to take any questions. And thank you all again for making the time this morning.